Hey, what's going on? I'm AC and welcome to part 6 of my Buildcraft tutorials, in which I will be telling you about the laser, the assembly table, and Buildcraft logic. So, start off with, well, I'll show you what I've got set up here. I've basically got 18 combustion engines, all set up to run off this one lever. This is what's keeping it supplied with fuel. Fuel? That's ridiculous. So they're all being supplied with fuel, they're all full of fuel. And then over here I have 4 pumps being run by redstone engines, which has filled up the water, which is going to keep them cool. And it does work quite effectively actually. It keeps them all cool, it keeps that pretty much full all the time. But yeah, so here's the lasers. This is what the lasers look like. This is what the assembly table looks like. I'll show you how to make them, well, craft them. So to craft a laser, you only get one from this, by the way. So it's quite expensive. You get two diamonds, 2 obsidian, and 5 redstone in that shape, and you get a laser. So quite expensive. I mean, I've got 3, 6, 9, 10. I've got 11 here. So I mean that would cost, 22 diamonds to build that many. But obviously, the more lasers you get, the faster it is. As you can see, I've got them set out in a pretty weird pattern. That wasn't supposed to happen. Hang on. Oh yeah, pretty weird pattern. You can't just put them next to each other, as I found out, because if you cross over the the Buildcraft pipes, like if I was to put another one here and then put a laser underneath it, well, even if I didn't put a laser underneath it, all the power starts to sort of run around itself, and it just builds up and up until the pipe explodes, and it explodes your lasers and all sorts. So be careful about that. Just when you're first setting up, just sort of watch out. Be careful, yeah. Right. So the assembly table. How to build that? Oh, press the wrong button. So again, this is 5 diamonds, but you don't need that many. I mean, you can set up more assembly tables underneath. I could set up one here and here if I wanted to, but I just haven't. Doesn't matter. And all these lasers would just pick sort of whichever. So they'd all work, but I might even show you in a minute. But yeah, to make that, 5 diamonds. So 6 obsidian down the side, a piece of redstone, a diamond, and a diamond gear, which is obviously 4 diamonds, and then... Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. I'll save the screenshot now. Lovely. Yeah, so 4 diamonds, and then 4 pieces of gold, and 4 pieces of iron, 4 cobble, and 4 sticks. So quite expensive, but again, you don't really need like loads like you have with this one, so it's not as bad. And if you put a chest either next to it, or I always put mine underneath, I don't know, I just think it looks neater. As you can see, I've cleared this out. Normally I wouldn't have it cleared out, I'd just have the chest underneath, you won't be able to see it, but I've cleared it out so you can see. But just get rid of them for now. But yeah, any kind of chest will work. I've used an iron chest here from the Iron Chests mod. And you can use alchemical chests from Equivalent Exchange, or just normal chests, or whatever, it just all works. So, what do these do? Right, so as you can see in here, you have your, well, this is your GUI, and basically you put items in to the left hand side and it tells you what you can create on the right hand side. So as you can see, redstone, oh, I meant to do that. So as you can see, you put in redstone, you can get a redstone chipset. If you click it, as you can see, it tells you it's going to do it. And there's some power left over in all these lasers, and that's it, creating it. So this is your progress bar basically. All these will run out in a minute because my engines aren't on. And again, as with everything else, like the quarry and everything, blue's obviously the fastest, then green, yellow and red. That's how the lasers work. And as you can see, they all sort of created lasers and they all hit the assembly table, which actually built it. But yeah, if you click it, it'll basically just keep creating it until you unclick it. So yeah, that's how you create it, and it puts it straight into this chest underneath. So now if I take this redstone chipset, put it in there. The redstone chipset can't actually be used for anything, you can't just use that, but if you put it in here and then you can create a gate. You can see here, when you've got multiple things, if you click 2 of them, whichever's the brightest red, so the gate here, it will build that first, and then it'll build a redstone chipset, and then it'll build a gate, and then a redstone chipset. It'll basically just sort of, well yeah, it'll do one and then the other. Annoying. Right. So if I go and turn all my engines on, get a bit of a lag, as you can see. There you go, everything starts working. All my lasers. I'll start creating a gate. So give it a second to just create it. I mean, this is with 11 lasers as well, and it's still going, you know, that slow. Well, it's not slow, but you know, it's not as fast. So, I'll go ahead and show you. I'll just turn this off. I'm not going to create them all. I'll just show you what you can make. It's simpler to do it that way. So if I type in chipset here, these are all the different types of chipset you can make. As you saw just then, the redstone chipset, and they're all created in the same way. You just throw it in on this side, and it'll come up on this side saying you can create it. So the redstone iron chipset is redstone and iron. The redstone golden chipset, redstone and gold, redstone diamond, redstone and diamond. I mean, it's all pretty obvious. So if I was to put in a bar of iron, there you go, and then gold. I didn't mean to click that. And then diamond. There you go. There's all your chipsets. Obviously, the higher tier it is, the longer it's going to take. I mean, you can see they're all working. It's hardly even doing anything. But yeah. So there's all your chipsets. And basically, you use chipsets to create gates. Which, as you saw there, just a normal gate. I'll get onto what the gates do as well in a minute. But yeah, that's what you use them for, to create gates. So there's a normal gate, which is just a normal redstone chipset. There's an iron AND gate and an iron OR gate, which obviously use the redstone iron chipsets. You create them with the redstone iron chipset and a red pipe wire. Now I'll get onto the pipe wire now actually as we go through it. So the iron ones use both the same thing. So when you put a redstone chipset in here like this, a redstone iron chipset and a red pipe wire, it'll come up with both gates, an iron AND or an iron OR. So they're both made in the same way, you just pick which one you want. And basically the red pipe wire is created with redstone, iron and rose red. So if you put all three of those in here, you'd get the red pipe wire here, and that's really fast to make, and you get 8 for every one of those, one of this you put in. So you put 1 iron ingot, 1 rose red and 1 redstone, and you get 8 red pipe wire back. Right, and then you go onto the gold gate. Well, gates. Again, they're both made the same way. You just pick. And as you can see, obviously redstone golden chipset, red pipe wire, and then this time you need a blue pipe wire as well, which is made in the same way as the red pipe wire, but just with lapis. So, pretty obvious. And then the diamond AND gates. Obviously, diamond redstone chipset. And then you need all 4 different colours of pipe wire, which all made in the same way again, just different colours obviously. Cactus green for that one, and dandelion yellow for that one. Now, what do these gates do? As well, I should probably mention before I get onto that, you can use red pipe wire, and I think just red pipe wire, away from this, which I'll show you in a second. Like, you don't have to use it in the assembly table, you can use it on pipes, which I'll show you. But yeah, what do the gates do? Now I'll show you that. Because gates can make things very... well, you can automate things very easily with gates. That's how I'll put it. So as you can see, I've got all of these gates. I've put all of the gates you can get above a combustion engine. You can put them above other things, like next to a chest, next to quarries. You can put them next to things from other mods. Like, for example... oh, should have got one first. If I grab an iron AND gate and then grab something from the forestry mod, if I was to get a farm and then get pipe, that'll do. Put the gate on the pipe, and that's how you do it, by the way. You just right click onto it, put your pipe on, and then just right click with your gate on the pipe. There you go. So, oh, there you go. Yeah. So they have like specific things inside that you can use for specific machines. But you know, I'll get onto the forestry mod another time. So I'll get rid of those, and then I'll just go through them all, showing you what the difference is basically and what they do. So the normal gate, you only get one, as you can see here, and you get the pipe empty. If the pipe's empty, this is basically if this happens, then and this in the middle. So right, let me explain. This isn't basically if. So if you use to write the words if in front of this, so if power traveling, and then this basically tells you if it's true or not. So power traveling, there's no power traveling for now, but the engine is blue, so it turns red. And then this is a then. So if you ever do programming, it's basically an if statement. Is the way I try to think about it. I did computing for a year, so I know some programming. So I think of this as an if statement. If the engine's blue, then output a redstone signal. So yeah, as you can see, it's got all the different things. So there you go. So that's a normal gate, it's just got one. An iron AND gate has got two. But obviously, as the name suggests, an AND gate, and again, if you do programming, you should know AND gates, OR gates, NOT gates, all that sort of stuff. So, and it's just an AND gate. So you can just use it as one again. So, if the engine's blue, then output a redstone signal. But obviously, because it's an AND gate, you need both of these to be true for it to actually output a redstone signal like that. So if it was like that, as you can see, no redstone signal has been outputted. But if I was to put both engines blue, there's a redstone signal. But if I was to change it against something else, there you go, tank empty, two redstone signals. But basically they both have to be, because it's an AND gate. Then OR gate, same thing, but it's an OR. So you have to have one or the other. So there you go. Oh, hang on, redstone signal. So there you go, redstone signal's out. Engine blue. Redstone signal out. If I turn that one off, redstone signal. But if I turn both of them off, then no redstone signal. So it's just an OR gate. Now golden, they use 4, but as you can see, there's an extra column here. So I'll see if I can find one for the engines. Right, there you go. So basically you can specify, so obviously there's 4 and it's an AND gate, so all of them need to be used if you do it. But basically you can specify using this, like liquid in tank, you can specify which liquid. So if you used to put in water, there you go, you've just specified if there's liquid in tank, which is, if there's water in the tank of this combustion engine, then output a redstone signal. But as you can see, there isn't any. But if I was to, obviously that's not going to work, is it? That's stupid of me. And there you go, outputting a redstone signal because there's water. I don't know if you can, if I get rid of that, I don't know if you can use, those. Got a better way to put it. It's all gone a bit wrong. There we go, fuel capsule. There's fuel in there. So now if I do that, and just test that, yeah, there you go. It can work with capsules and whatnot. You don't have to use like water blocks, so you don't have to cheat or anything. But yeah, that's how that works. Oh no, wait, no, don't output a redstone signal. Forgot. Turn it on. And again, golden OR gate, same as that, same as the AND gate, but it's just an OR instead, so you can have any of those. Then diamond, same again, but there's just 8 this time instead of 4, so I don't really know what you'd use a diamond gate for, unless, no, I can't think of any reasons. But yeah, that's the main differences. Right, so now I'll show you where you can use these. For example, as you can see here, this pipe, by the way, is a power switch pipe. It's from one of the Buildcraft add-ons. I can't remember which one. Maybe additional objects, something like that. I'll get to one of those in the future anyway, but basically what it does is when you apply a redstone signal to it, like this, it opens. So it's a power pipe, but when it's like this, it won't allow power to go through it. But once you apply a redstone signal, power can pass through it. So if you wanted to turn your quarry off, after, like if you didn't want to waste power, so you wanted to stop power going to your quarry once your quarry had finished, if you put redstone signal there and say, if there's work scheduled, allow redstone signal. So there you go. As soon as the quarry is finished, there's no work to be scheduled after that. So the redstone signal will turn off. So work done. And there you go. No redstone signal, your quarry will turn off. So it can be helpful for things like that, just small things. Also, auto sorting systems. This is what I use them for a lot. Like this. Say you had a chest where you just dump everything into it, and you wanted to pump things out. So as you can see here, oh yeah, the red pipes. The red pipe wire. I forgot. Yeah, if you just right click on a pipe, it just adds it like that. And I'll show you what it does in a second. It basically connects gates, but I'll show you it working in a second. And this, I didn't need to do that. It's cobblestone structure pipe. It's just used to support red pipe wire. That's all there is to it, really. If you wanted to know how to make that, there you go. It's a cobblestone transport pipe with gravel above it. So I'll put that back together. So if I was to say, if there is items in inventory, then emit a red pipe signal. So the second you put an item in there, you're going to get a red pipe signal which is going to travel up here to this gate, and it says once you get a red pipe signal, transmit a redstone signal which is going to turn this engine on and start pulling things out. So let's try that. I'll throw a laser and an assembly table in. So there you go. Everything's turned on. The redstone engine's pulling things out. And then once it's empty, so after this one, it's going to turn everything off. There you go, and your redstone engine stops again. So just simple things like that, but it works. But then you can also like specify it. So if I was to get some stone and some cobblestone, if I was to say if there's items in inventories and if there is cobblestone in your inventory, then emit a red pipe signal. So if I put stone in there, it's not going to do anything. It will if I take that out. There you go, everything's turned on. If I put cobblestone in there again, everything's turned off. But obviously, as soon as I put cobblestone in there, it's going to turn everything on and start dragging items out again. So yeah, quite useful. Let me turn that off. There we go. So yeah, gates are quite useful. That's Buildcraft logic, basically. That's all there is to it. It's quite simple once you get the hang of it. And that's lasers and assembly tables, which are just used to create Buildcraft logic. So it's all pretty simple once you get the hang of it. You can come up with some pretty cool ideas with it. But yeah, I think that's it. And I think that's it for the Buildcraft tutorials as well, as far as I'm aware. So I think next I'll probably do some tutorials on the the additional Buildcraft objects. Things such as the extra pipes, like the power switch pipe and the crossover and the bounce and all that sort of stuff, and then logistics pipes and sneaky pipes. So yeah, I'll probably do that after I've done my updated agriculture IC2 video, because I need to update that because it was just terrible. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you haven't watched the rest of the Buildcraft tutorials, then feel free to go watch them. And watch the other videos that will be coming out soon on Buildcraft additional items and things like that. So yeah, I've been AC. Thank you for watching, and I will see you soon.